The Miami Dolphins entered the 2024 season with high hopes, with a roster brimming with talent, including stars like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey. Fans expected a playoff run or maybe even more, but as the season unfolded, something fell off. A sense of chaos, a lack of discipline, and mounting frustrations began to overshadow the team's potential. And now, as the dust settles, head coach Mike McDaniel's shocking revelations shed light on what went wrong behind the scenes. Today, we're not just recapping the season, we're dissecting the Dolphins' fine mess, asking tough questions and challenging the status quo. The 2024 season wasn't just disappointing in terms of results. It was marred by something far more concerning, a lack of professionalism and discipline. During locker cleanout day, players hinted at the issue, and McDaniel confirmed it in a candid press conference. He openly admitted that the team struggled with accountability. Fines, a typical tool for managing discipline in the NFL, weren't working. Why? Players weren't fazed. For stars like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey, those fines were pocket change. The result? Persistent tardiness, a lack of cohesion, and an organization scrambling for solutions. Let's pause for a moment and ask, should this have been expected? The Dolphins are a team of superstars, many of whom have massive egos and a sense of invincibility. Managing a roster like this requires not just strategy, but also psychological finesse. McDaniel's admission that he needs to adjust his process speaks volumes. Was this a failure of leadership? Or was it an unavoidable consequence of the Dolphins' star-driven culture? Whatever the case, it's clear that 2024 exposed cracks in the foundation. One of the most striking parts of McDaniel's comments was his realization that traditional discipline methods weren't effective. He mentioned finding guys didn't particularly move the needle in the way we need to. This raises a critical question. What does effective accountability look like in the modern NFL? Is it benching players? Publicly calling them out? Or perhaps focusing on building a culture that naturally discourages these issues? Here's where things get provocative. If Tyreek Hill or Jalen Ramsey were regular offenders, should the Dolphins have taken a tougher stance even if it meant benching their star players? Now, let's talk consequences. What does this mean for 2025? The Dolphins face a crossroads. They can't afford to let discipline issues linger, especially with the AFC as competitive as ever. But how do you fix a problem that's both cultural and structural? McDaniel seems committed to change, but words are one thing. Actions are another. Fans will be watching closely to see if the Dolphins take real steps to enforce accountability, even if it means tough decisions.